We're now joined in studio by Cuba's Ambassador to Namibia, Sergio Vigoa de la Hoz. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for making time to be with us on this very, very difficult day for us as a nation. Please share with us your reaction and your country's reaction to this news.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank for this opportunity to express our deeply condolence of the Cuban government, the Cuban people, to the Namibian people for this gone of our friend. Let me call our Dr. Hage Geingob as a friend of Cuba, to go on to another dimension. Of course, very early in the morning, the main authorities of Cuba has already put in their Twitter and social medias their condolence for these circumstances and all the support to the Namibian people. We also would like to say that earlier, when we know about the condition of the President Geingob, the government of Cuba already offered our knowledge of the science, and also all the medical institutions and the medical and the doctors, the nurses in Cuba, to help the president in his recovery.
What are your fondest moments of the late president as a leader, as a friend, as you mentioned? What is it that you'll remember about him, and what the Cuban people will remember him as the leader of a country that you helped gain independence?
Yes, very, very early, since the struggle for the independence of Namibia, President Geingob has a very good relation with the Cuban people, with the soldiers, with the authorities in Cuba. He was in Cuba many times as a prime minister, as a minister, as a president. We can remember that when the bad news of the pass on of our commander-in-chief, Geingob was in Cuba, accompanied by the founding father Sam Nujoma and the former president Pohamba, and it was a signal that the relation that we have between the two governments and the two peoples. Unfortunately, I had the opportunity to meet the President Geingob during this almost a year I have been here for Ambassador, and I think that the best memory I have of the president was during the visit of our president Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermúdez last August, August 2023, and that we realized really how the Cubans are loved here in Namibia. The president was very close to our president. He was all the time during the program. I can remember the statement that he had during the Heroes Day at Independence Stadium, and the order was given to the president of Cuba. Also, at that time, the president of Cuba has already gave the news that the Council of State approved to give the President Geingob, since 2022, the order Jose Marti is the highest order that the government can give to any Cuban or foreign personality.
Talk to us a bit about the honor of Jose Marti. What are the qualities that Cuba looks at, individuals who are worthy of that honor?
Yes, it's mainly regards to the relationship, historical relationship that this personality has with the Cuban people and the Cuban Revolution, and that's the case of Dr. Hage Geingob, because we have to remember that not only during the term he was a president, but also during the term that I was a prime minister. But during the last years, in every high levels segment in the General Assembly, his statement always talk about the blockade of United States against Cuba, and also to quit Cuba from the list of countries sponsor of terrorism. But always, just in the year and a half here, I think more than 6 times that Dr. Hage Geingob was state in any activity during the Independence Day, the SWAPO Day, the statement to the nation. All the time he was talking about the necessity of lift the blockade against Cuba and to quit Cuba from the list of Cuba state sponsor of terrorism. That's the reason why he was he fulfilled all the conditions to be given this order, Jose Marti, to President Hage Geingob.
Lastly, a few years ago, Cuba also experienced this day in terms of the death of Fidel Castro. What is your message of encouragement to the Namibian nation right now as we still grapple to accept this that has happened to us? What is your message of encouragement?
Yes, as you said, we live this kind of situation in Cuba many years ago when our commander-in-chief passed on, and everybody all over the world was asking, what about to Cuba right now? What's going to happen to Cuba right now with the Cuban people right now? Because as a leadership, there was a very strong personality in Cuba, the very strong personality of Fidel in the Cuban Revolution. But Fidel was all the time talking about the one revolution, one process, one project can be led for one person, but it's not. It cannot develop only for one person. It can be developed joined with many people, many collaborators, and of course the people. And that's the reason why I think here in Namibia the same thing is going to happen, because since independence there are many young people, many revolutionary leadership here in Namibia that can go on with the ideas of the former father, the founder father, the former president, of course, Dr. Hage Geingob. I'm sure there's not, of course, it's a very painful day, but I'm sure the Namibian people knows how to go on with the project of independence.
Right. Ambassador, thank you. Thank you so much for making time to come out here to share your thoughts and, of course, your words of encouragement as well as the nation goes through this very difficult period. Thank you so much.
Thank you.